You know those days where the baseball schedule is just completely packed, and it feels like every game is coming right down to the wire.
Oh, yeah. Today was definitely one of those days. A stunning number of really close contests.
Exactly. But then you also had some, absolute blowouts, huge offensive days, and some amazing pitching clinics mixed in.
It really was kind of a snapshot of everything baseball offers, wasn't it? You
Yeah,
look through the results and see that whole range, tense one-run games, shutouts, and then those high-scoring slugfests.
totally. And look, we've pulled together a load of game summaries, analysis,
There were
basically everything we need to break it all down.
good stuff.
So the mission today, let's try and filter through it all and pull out the really interesting stuff, the key insights from today's action.
Right, give folks a comprehensive but, digestible overview.
Exactly that. Okay, let's get into it. How about we start with that really tight one in Cleveland? Guardians just sneaking past the Yankees 3-2.
Yeah, that was a fascinating one. What really stood out there was how the Guardians pitching staff managed that Yankees lineup. I mean, that's a tough lineup to face.
No kidding.
But their ace, he had incredible command, changing speeds, hitting his spots, keeping them off balance. It wasn't just about throwing hard, it felt really strategic.
That's a great point. The Yankees, they have all that power, but they just couldn't seem to string anything together consistently.
Hmm.
And really shows what happens when pitching execution is on point like that. And you mentioned it, but those key defensive plays too. I think there was a big double play late.
Yeah, absolutely crucial. And the Guardians got that timely hit when they needed it in a 3-2 game. Those small moments, they're everything.
They really are. Defense, a clutch hit, tiny margins. Okay, now let's flip completely the Padres shutting out the Tigers
Hmm.
2-0.
Right, a totally different vibe. This was just pitching dominance from San Diego.
Their starter was apparently unhittable. Kept the Tigers guessing all afternoon.
Looked like it. It felt like, compared to Cleveland's strategic pitching in a tight game, the Padres starter just kind of overpowered the Tigers, just shut them down completely.
And the offense just needed to do, well, just enough.
Exactly. 2 runs was all it took. They capitalized on their chances, got the lead, and let the pitching handle the rest. Shows there's more than one way to control a game.
Definitely. Okay, let's move over to the NL East. Marlins and Reds. That sounds like it was a bit more back and forth, 4-3 Miami.
Yeah, that one had some real excitement. Both teams showed some resilience, but the Marlins seemed to get the big hits right when they counted.
Clutch hitting.
Exactly. They grabbed the lead, maybe extended a bit, and then crucially, their bullpen held on. The Reds kept pushing, but Miami's relievers shut the door in those final innings.
Always tense when it comes down to the
Yep.
bullpen like that. Now, completely the other end of the scale. Nationals just rolled over the Orioles, 7-0.
Wow. Yeah, that's a statement, isn't it? Just a commanding performance all around from Washington.
Sounds like it. Offense clicking, pitching, shutting the door.
Completely. The offense was relentless, contribution up and down the lineup, putting up those 7 runs, and the pitching. A shutout. You can't ask for much more than that. Just total dominance.
Firing on all cylinders, as they say. And speaking of offenses firing, how about the Red Sox? 8-3 over the Mariners? Sounds like the bats were working in Boston.
Oh, definitely. The Red Sox hitters just kept coming, driving in runs, putting constant pressure on Seattle's pitchers. They seemed to capitalize on, well, pretty much every chance they got.
Mariners couldn't keep up.
They had a few moments, scored 3 runs, but yeah, they just couldn't match that consistent pressure from Boston. Really showed the depth in that Red Sox lineup.
Okay, another NL East game, Mets beating the Phillies 5-1. Sounds like a solid all-around win for New York.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Just well-rounded. The Mets pitching was superb, holding that pretty dangerous Phillies lineup to just the 1 run. And the offense did its job, too. Good teamwork, situational hitting, moved runners over, got the key hits to build that lead and then hold it. It looked like a really cohesive team effort.
Nice. All right, and now, the game that probably had everyone buzzing, Cubs and Dodgers. Final score, 11-10, Cubs win. Just, wow.
Yeah, what a game. That score tells you almost everything you need to know, right? Just an absolute slugfest.
A roller coaster is what it sounds like. Lead changes, big hits.
Multiple lead changes. Both teams just kept answering back. Incredible resilience from both offenses. But in the end, the Cubs just managed to land that final punch, got the clutch hits when it mattered most right at the end.
Unbelievable game. Dodgers fought hard, too, obviously, pushing it that close.
Oh, absolutely. Right down to the last out, just an epic contest. You got to love baseball days like this.
You really do. Okay, so those were some of maybe the headline games. But like we said, it was a busy slate. Lots of other action worth a quick mention, right?
For sure. We should definitely touch on the Cardinals. They put up 10 runs against the Braves in a 10-4 win. Big offensive day for St. Louis. Lots of guys contributing.
Okay, nice win for them.
Who else? Let's see. Minnesota beat the White Sox 4-2. Pretty solid win there. Seemed like some key hits mid-game and good starting pitching. And the Royals, they edged out the Rockies 4-3. Another close one, showing they can win those tight games under pressure.
Good for Kansas City. How about the AL West? Astros.
Yep, Astros looked strong again. Beat the Blue Jays 5-1. Sounds like the usual Astros formula. Strong pitching, timely hitting. They just keep doing it.
Consistent. Anyone else have a big offensive day?
Well, the Pirates certainly did. They scored 9 runs against the Angels, won 9-3, so their bats woke up in a big way.
9 runs, okay.
And Arizona beat Tampa Bay 5-1. That's a solid win against a good Rays team. Strong pitching, consistent hitting seemed to be the key there.
All right. Any others stand out?
Milwaukee, they had a huge day against the Giants, winning 11-3. Another offensive explosion.
11 runs. Brewers were hot.
And finally, the Rangers beat the A's 8-5. Seems like a balanced effort from Texas. Pitching did its job. Offense put up a good number.
Okay, wow. That covers a lot of ground. So looking back at this whole day of baseball,
Yeah.
what's the big picture feel? What are the main takeaways for you?
Well, I mean, the first thing is just the sheer amount of talent and competitiveness out there right now, isn't it? We saw everything today.
Yeah, totally.
Pitching duels that were all about strategy and making pitches, and then these offensive showcases with just raw power. It really highlights how dynamic the game is. Every team grinding.
And just the variety, right? Those super tense one-run games where, like you said, every little play feels huge, and then the games where one team just takes control and doesn't let go.
Exactly. And, you know, thinking bigger picture, even though it's still relatively early in the season, these games start to paint a picture, don't they?
Hints of things to come.
Maybe. You see strengths, maybe some potential weaknesses starting to show, players maybe getting hot. It all sets the stage for what's looking like a really unpredictable and exciting season ahead.
Yeah, it definitely makes you wonder which of these results are just, a one-day thing and which might be signs of bigger trends.
Which kind of leads to a final thought, maybe for you listening. We saw so much today, right? Dominant pitching, crazy offense, close games, blowouts. So what early trends, if any, do you think might be hiding in these results? And maybe more intriguingly, based on just this one snapshot, which of these teams we talked about today might actually be the ones to surprise everybody as the season unfolds?
That's a good one to chew on. Lots to think about. Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive into what turned out to be a really action-packed day in baseball.
Always a pleasure.
We'll catch you next time with more insights.